Welcome to another episode of Sanford Says. This is Lisa Holder, Chief Communications and Cultural Affairs Administrator for the City of Sanford. Today we have a very special guest, Brigitte Stephenson, the curator of the City of Sanford's Sanford Museum. Hi, Brigitte.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm doing great. It's so great that you're here today. So our topic is going to be the wonderfully incredible Sanford Museum, and it's a true diamond and asset for the city. To have such a historic place to gather information, and so people can learn about our historic city. And matter of fact, we have an anniversary coming up in a couple of years. 150 years we're celebrating.
Oh my goodness! I mean,
and
I'm
so
sure
I have to get with you.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll have to get with
well,
you
the
about
good
that.
news, we do house our town founder who basically plotted the town and made a company for it. We do have 55,000 of his letters. So
We can find something.
Yeah, and he was doing it abroad, so there's a ton of letters, so we can help you figure out how did we make a city and celebrate. How do you make a city?
Right.
150 years of making a city.
Yeah, exactly. So, Brigitte, tell us what's going on lately at the museum.
Yeah, a lot of different things are going on. We're pretty excited about. Right now, we have a friends organization. So if you haven't heard, the Sanford Historical Society helps raise funds for us. And they come up with all these events and ideas. And this year, they're doing a tea party at a private residence that is one of the older houses in the community. So it is the DeForest home. Speaking of Henry Sanford writing a bunch of letters, DeForest was actually one of the agents that was here in Sanford when the town was originally being built. So I'll be there giving a lecture talking about who Henry DeForest was, as well as his connection to the Swedish community that came here. Believe it or not, we have a long history of Swedes here.
Yeah.
And then, so that tea party, unfortunately, it's already sold out. But something like that, if that perks your interest, please follow the Sanford Historical Society because they're hoping to do this maybe once a quarter. So we're trying to find our next place too to house it. So we're really excited about that, and that's a great way that they're making money for us.
Right. Now people can join the Historical Society.
Yes,
yeah?
It is, I believe, $20 for individual, $30 for family, and then we have different tiers, such like a patron. It's $100, but all of that money goes and helps us out at the museum.
Yeah, I mean that's a bargain right there with what you get for that.
Exactly.
All that knowledge.
You get the newsletter, and then you can be invited to our Historical Society lectures. In fact, we're doing, the Society is actually having a lecture at Venue 1902 this Thursday. You're more than welcome to come and see if it's your thing. We're going to have Savannah Biddle-Poole. She's my curatorial assistant. She's going to talk about the history of the old grammar school. She actually used to work there as a docent when it was the Public History Center. So she's really excited to tell the stories that she collected not only while she was working there, but later on when she was working with us. So go check that out. Plus, Venue 1902 is such a pretty building.
It is.
Not usually open to the public. So to come to an event to learn a little bit about the history of the building and get to see the building itself is a great opportunity.
Yeah, now, so people can stay in touch with what's going on in the museum in advance, too. You have your own Facebook page. You have your information is on the city website at sanfordfl.gov, but you have social media, right? You have a YouTube channel.
Channel. We're trying to get some more stuff. We're actually working with Seminole State College. One of the professors there is on our advisory board. And as part of a project, some of the students have to actually make content for us. So we're very lucky enough to have one of those students helping us out on a new video. It's going to be on our historic Memorial Stadium. So kind of look for that. That should be coming out probably within the next, in April or May. So we're pretty excited about that as well. But we have a bunch of different lectures that we have uploaded on our YouTube as well as our Facebook. Savannah's always posting something. Right now she's doing March of Museums, which is an initiative with various different museums in the country to post something every day in March. So it's a great way to see a little snippet of our collection.
Awesome. Can you share with us, for those that are listening that may not be aware of where the museum is? I mean, all
Yeah.
of that. How can people, and your hours of operation?
Yeah, so we are open Tuesdays through Saturdays, 9 to 5. We are free to the public. I like to joke that we're the best free thing to do, but I am a biased source. But it's very rare something is free these days. And you can come on in. It is self guided, but if you have any questions, I always have a docent out front that will be happy to help you out. Also, if you want to do research, we provide that for the community as well, and we'll be happy to help you out with that. Our research room hours are the same time. We usually like you guys to contact us beforehand just so we can pull out those files or start looking for things so we can get a little bit of that legwork done for you. But we do have not only the Sanford Herald on microfilm, which for those who are young and not, don't know what microfilm is, it's basically before you digitized things to make things smaller, you put them on these mag strips. So we have that as well as research files collected with pretty much almost all the houses located in the historic district. So let's just say you're a new homeowner in the area and you want to find what we like to call the genealogy of the home, like who lived here. If you're buying an old house, part of the charm is that it's been loved before, somebody's lived in it, and you can find out who those people are, and we'll be happy to help you out. We can even help you find their obituaries or even their gravesite if you want to say hello to them or something.
Yeah.
I've known some people who have done
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Well, I mean, you have the information. I mean,
Exactly.
that's great. So, um, the museum is located on next to Fort Mellon Park,
Yes.
right? You can't miss it. It's on First Street,
Yep,
right?
it's on First Street. You go past Sanford Avenue, past the old Chamber of Commerce slash USO building of Monroe Hall, and then we're going to be right there across from, I believe, Serenity Towers. So again,
Okay.
we're free right in the middle of the park, so you can make a day of not only having a picnic at the park, but coming in to learn a little bit of history at the museum.
Yeah, I mean, that is just wonderful. And you could also pick up yourself a city T-shirt, right? For
Yep,
at the museum for how much are they?
they're $5.
$5. You
Yeah.
can't beat that, right?
Oh no.
We have a large stock of city T-shirts out there, and then also have some books for sale
Yeah,
or
we
some.
have some books on our local history. We have some cool things like our Arcadia book, which is a company that we put a lot of the photographs within our collection that talk about the history. Another cool one is one of our society board members wrote about a murder that happened in 1884 that made a whole ghost story behind it. So that's Murder on the Florida Frontier. As well as we have several books from the late Charlie Carlson, who made the book Weird Florida. So all those, if you want to pick up a gift that's very historical, please come. And all the proceeds goes and helps the museum making the collection better. Right now, we're doing a big project where we're accessioning and making sure everything is in archival boxes, and that stuff is expensive. Let me tell you.
Is
And so we're really excited about that.
Yeah, I think it's such a great cultural asset here for the city of
Mhm.
Sanford, and sometimes people they know of the museum maybe, but they haven't been, but it's really a jewel. You've got to go. I mean, what a great learning experience. Take your kids, take
Mhm.
your visitors that come to see you, walk to downtown and
Yeah.
walk through downtown, have
If
lunch,
you and even
go to
if
the
you're like
museum.
a church group or a school group or something, we tend to like for those actually give a guided tour. We now have actually a big thing that we're pretty excited about is we just overhauled our website. So again, sanfordfl.gov/museum. Again, sanfordfl.gov/museum. We just did this overhaul where there's a section where you can fill out a form saying like, hey, I'm a school group, there's going to be X amount of kids, these are the ages, any focuses you want your tour to be on, we're happy to accommodate that. And even church groups, I know that's big, or senior groups, we'll be happy to help you out. We just like to know in advance because that many people, because we're a tiny museum, and it's also for the safety of the artifacts to give a tour. So we would love to have you fill that out. Another overhaul that we're really excited about on the website is through a grant that we were able to get through the Florida Humanities Council. We have made a virtual tour. So, if for whatever reason you cannot make it to the museum, you can look at the virtual tour. And then the other thing is through a software called Past Perfect, we're uploading our entire collection online. Of course, it's going to take like years to upload every single item that has
Yeah.
been donated over the years. And not
Right.
only that, we're photographing them as well now. So it's going to take some time, but you can look at those and see images that we have. And you can even request higher res images. So if you want to use them, like a big thing that we get is you're a new store, you want to have old pictures of Sanford, you can look at those and then request for a higher res image, and we'll be
Really?
happy to help you out.
Okay.
We're really excited about that on our website. Um,
Okay.
yeah, and talking about our collection is made via donation from people, probably listeners of this podcast, as well as people who had ancestry in Sanford. So we're only as good as what our collection could get us. And the website has it if you're interested in donating. It's a little bit of a process, but we have to have this bureaucracy so we can make sure your items are okay. We do have a form that you will fill out, and then we will get with our collections working group to kind of discuss whether or not this item fits within our collection. And then we'll have you fill out another form to basically say, like, hey, we're legally giving you this item. So if you're interested in donating something, we would love that. Our holy grail that we're always looking for, because we have so many people that live in the historic district, is old pictures of buildings. So if you're cleaning out mom and dad's thing and you see a building that says Sanford and you don't know it, don't throw it out. I would love that.
Okay.
I mean, we're always looking for things that represent Sanford's history. So this is my plea to, like, come go to the
Yeah.
website and fill out that form.
All right. So Brigitte, I mean, you do a fantastic job, and so does
Hmm.
Savannah and your staff over there. And this is a city facility.
Yep.
This is, you are a city employee, which and I know you kind of worked your way up, didn't you?
Yeah, I used to be the curatorial assistant, and I am just very honored the city of Sanford would hire me as the curator. And the fact we're a municipal museum is really important. There's not a whole lot of municipal museums in the state of Florida. I know recently I've had a couple of organizations reach out, like, what is that agreement that caused that? Because it's so important to have cities that are involved with, or even counties that are involved with local history or
Mm.
arts and culture. And this is a great way that the city has been able to not only provide and the preservation of its history, but also help the citizens be able to connect with its history. And it doesn't even have to be like that. We have some people that they need to see if historically it had an awning because of the preservation board, and we have old pictures, so that has helped out people. So it's not only the way of just thinking, like, what's my genealogy. Sometimes it's other things that we could be happy to help you out with.
Yeah, and I think you can categorize this in heritage tourism.
Yep,
Is
exactly.
that right? Because I mean, we've got historical markers up and down Sanford
Hmm.
Avenue along the Riverwalk,
Yep.
right? And then
Veterans
you
Memorial Park.
right, and the museum. We have the historic neighborhoods and things. So it's I mean, make a day out of it.
Hmm.
You know, never stop learning. And the Sanford Museum is a wonderful venue to go to.
Yep.
So now the event that's this Thursday,
Yes.
venue 1902. Is
Yes.
that information on where can people?
That is going to be on the Society's Facebook page.
Okay, all
So you
right.
can find it there. But we usually sometimes, if you follow us on Facebook as well, we usually share and repost whatever. Because we're friends with multiple different historic groups, and we always like sharing their information. Like, for instance, Georgetown has a steering committee, and they're fantastic at trying to preserve and collect Georgetown's history, which recently just got on the National Register, which is very exciting. And they're having an emancipation weekend talking about Florida emancipation. So they're going to have a gala at the Women's Club. Hold on, I need to get those dates. It's May I believe it's the weekend of like the 18th, I want to say. Yeah, the 17th they're having a gala. The 18th is the actual celebration of Florida's emancipation. So, Juneteenth celebrates Texas, which was the last state to hear about emancipation. But we're celebrating Florida specifically and that date when emancipation was said. So that's a really cool Florida history thing. You should come to it. And that is going to be hosted through the Georgetown Steering Committee. And that's May the 17th is the gala. You can find tickets on their website. And then the 18th where you can come in and get to see a little bit of that history where they talk about it. They're also doing like a Bike to Freedom as well, where they're biking to Eatonville and back. Bicoletta has some information on that.
Okay,
Yeah.
so this is all available on the historical...
You can go to our Facebook.
Or the
museum. Or you can join the Georgetown Steering Committee. So
Okay.
Again, another historical organization if you're with Georgetown. We're actually working with UCF and the Georgetown Steering Committee to be collecting oral histories about Georgetown. So our research room, unfortunately, is going to be closed the 28th because they're using it to basically, get some oral histories. If you're interested in that project, please email myself at sanfordmuseum@sanfordfl.gov. And I can send you information of Dr. Connie Lester, who's in charge of the project at UCF.
This is great. This is real. I'm writing down information because I happen to like all that stuff. All right. Is there anything else you want to say at this point about the museum other than come on down?
I know, exactly. We're also doing a lot of off-site events. Like I recently helped out with the county museum with their timeline of women's history, where I discussed, how women's labor has always been ways for women to find money and find a place within their society. So I was like doing an 1830s laundress.
Really?
Yeah, it was fun. And then
wait, what is an 18 really?
Yeah. So basically,
what's a laundress?
Yeah, laundress
like
is somebody who cleans clothes.
Okay, that's what I thought.
And not going into the whole 20-minute lecture I gave everyone. But that was a way for women to make money in the past because it was something that was still deemed somewhat inside like the home sphere of cleaning, but those women had to be almost mini chemists to figure out. You just didn't make your own. You had to make your own laundry detergent back in the day, and you had to be careful like what fibers are interacting with what chemicals.
Okay.
Like bleach will completely dissolve wool and silk. So
and
you have
lye?
to be
Did they used to not knowing?
They use lye.
And that was like.
Well, I mean that's the thing. You don't have to know the exact chemistry in order to use it. So. Through word of mouth and trial and error, these women were almost pretty proficient chemists, but they didn't know the science behind it. And I always find that very interesting in the past. Like, our ancestors, not as dumb as you think. Like, there's a method to their madness.
Of course not. Yeah, no. They did the best with what they had,
Exactly.
You know? All right. Well, this is so great. Yeah. Brigitte, you're always a pleasure to listen to and talk with. Did you have something else?
Yeah, one more thing. Just another offsite event. We're working with the St. John's River Ship Company with their Whiskey and Wisdom Wednesdays. And that's going to be I think it's like the second Wednesday of the month. So the 10th of April, I'm going to be giving to start off this like fun kind of collaboration, I'll be talking about the history of alcohol in Sanford.
On the river ship?
Yes. So you can go to their website and look up and see tickets are $25, but if you're a Historical Society member, I believe it's 15% off. So that's another reason why you should join the Historical Society.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, and you have monthly meetings, right?
Every other month.
Every other month.
So right now it's going to be Venue 1902. That's part of that lecture.
Oh, okay.
Series.
Okay, yeah. Great. Yeah, this is awesome. If you are into culture, art, history, all of that, definitely get involved with the Sanford Museum for sure, our local museum, and all is welcome. All is welcome. All are welcome. Is there anything else you'd like to add, Brigitte? All right. Well, thank you so much for being on Sanford Says, the City's podcast. It's a great amenity. You're a great asset. It's just such a pleasure to listen to this great storyteller, and we appreciate you coming on the show, taking time out of your busy day, Brigitte.
Thank you. And thank you so much for allowing me to promote the museum. I'm always excited to do that.
Of course, that's what this platform is for. Thank you for listening. This is Lisa Holder, Chief Communications and Cultural Affairs Administrator for the City of Sanford. You could find this podcast wherever you subscribe to your favorite podcast and on the city website at sanfordfl.gov. Thank you for listening. Take care now. Until next time. Bye now.